Hi, and welcome to Art Moves. My name is Lynn Fleischman, and today we are going to be exploring the movements of centering. Centering is the ability to feel solid and strong and balanced. It is usually physically centered in the hips and the belly, in the pelvic bowl. All of our upper body movements, lower body movements are uh, they're governed by what the hips are doing and how the hips help us maintain our balance moment by moment, because we're also every second we're making these micro movements, and it's the hips and the pelvic bowl area that help keep those movements coordinated so we don't fall over. So this is really important in terms of strengthening our balance and aiding in fall prevention. Uh, it's really crucial to our ability to stay active and perform the activities of daily life. And as we all know, as we get a little older, our sense of balance begins to erode. So we really have to consciously work with it. And it's also important in a sense of when we work with the body on centering, we're actually also working with our feelings and emotions and with our thoughts. And we're learning how to come back to center, how to rebalance. And that helps us cope with change. And again, as we get older, the changes seem to come faster and more furious. So there is no right way to do this. You can stand for all of these movements, or you can sit for all of these movements, or you can move back and forth between sitting and standing. I will be kind of moving back and forth, so I'm kind of demoing both. And whatever you do, though, make sure that you're firmly situated. Okay, so if you're sitting, I'm going to move back here. If you're sitting, make sure you're really centered over your sits bones. Your feet are flat on the floor, hands are just loose, and your spine is kind of stacked. If you're standing, make sure that you are over your hips and your feet. They're not, and they're even and pointed straight ahead, about shoulder width apart. The arms are hanging loosely. Your knees are unlocked because you can just kind of bounce, okay? So you want to feel really comfortable and relaxed. Okay, let's get going here. Okay, I'm going to start with the most fundamental movement of all, which is breathing. All right. For these exercises, let your belly be really soft, okay? Really soft. And just don't change your breath. First of all, just notice your breathing, all right? You may notice it in the nostrils. You may feel a movement in your chest. You may feel the movement in your belly. Just notice your breath. And letting your belly soften even more. On the inhalation, let your breath just kind of push your belly out a little bit. And then on the exhalation, let your belly sink back toward the spine. No forcing it. Don't shove your belly out or, pull your belly way back to the spine. Just make it gentle. The music is gentle. The movement should be gentle. Really letting that air go deep. And gradually let your exhalation be just a beat or two longer than your inhalation. You can even count it if you like. Yeah, just lengthening the exhalation. Just lengthening that exhalation. So what we're doing here is activating a state of rest and a state of calm and a state of attention. Being aware of our breath is absolutely core to our ability to center. And it's also important to our ability to be aware of what and how we're moving. So we're going to start with body parts. And I'm going to ask you to start with your head and just start moving it. Just start moving it. However it moves. The head can move in many different ways. Don't strain. Don't get it. If it's painful, don't do it. You know, if you feel a tiny bit of tightness, not pain, but just a little tightness, then you can get a little stretch in there. Letting the movement go down into your shoulders. Your shoulders, into your upper arms and your elbows. Down into your wrists, fingers. Now this is all up in the upper body. Don't forget about your head. Keep your head moving and get the spine in there too a little bit. So we've got the whole upper torso is moving. However it moves, you know, your way of moving is different from my way. There we go. Now let it drop into the hips. The movement drop into the hips. Keep the rest of the upper torso going, but add the hips to it. And of course, you know, you start moving the hips and, you know, your legs are going to start moving a little bit. Everything's connected. So just letting the movement drop down then into your legs, upper legs, into your knees. Yeah, just explore, you know, how do these things move? How does your knee move? You know, how does your ankle and your feet? You can go forward and back. If you're sitting, again, you know, whatever can move, move. And if it can't move, don't worry about it. Right? There you go. Yeah. Feet side to side a little bit. Yeah, just get those body parts. And then putting it kind of all together. Okay? So it's no longer a body part. It's a whole body moving to the music. Yeah, you know, be gentle with yourself. Just feeling the music inside you. Kind of letting the music dance you, as it were. And as the movement, as the music begins to change, let your movement change. And you may notice as you're moving that there's a particular movement you find yourself doing. Here's one. And consciously choose to just do a repetitive movement. It might take you a minute to find it. You know, you don't have to be in a rush. Okay? And when you have it, just say your name out loud. Lynn. You notice it took me a second to find what I really wanted to do here. And then, if you're dancing with somebody else, take turns saying your name out loud, and you can even imitate each other's movement. If you're by yourself, let your movement morph into something else. You know, if you were mostly in the upper body like I was, let it go down in the lower body a little bit. Just find a movement you can keep doing. Keep doing it. Let's say your name again. Lynn. Yeah. Just kind of declare yourself. You know? Really focus on this area. Belly in front, sacrum in back, and how it provides the stability. The ability for all these other limbs to explore and still maintain balance. There you go. Yeah. Just imagine yourself completely centered. Remember to breathe. It's really easy when you start doing the movement. Really easy. You kind of forget to breathe, to hold your breath. You don't want to do that. If you can't think of anything to do, just imitate me. Because then something will come up. And don't think about it. You know, this isn't a, what am I going to do next? All right, how do you move when you're completely centered? And now I'm going to invite you to experiment a little bit with going off center. Allowing yourself to be awkward. You know, you can move around the whole room however you can. If you're in a chair, you can roll around the whole room, scoot around the room. It's okay. Simply letting yourself every once in a while just kind of go to the edge of balance. Obviously, we're not going completely uncentered because then we'd fall on the ground, okay? If you're in the chair, you know, play with going sideways. If you can do it, play with lifting a leg, going forward. You know, whatever you can do just to kind of go off balance a little. Just off balance, just enough to feel it. To feel like, oh, I am a little off balance. A little awkward here. I'm going to be on the edge of falling. Just don't actually do it. Feel how the belly, the hips, the sacrum pull you back. You know, counterbalance. Counterbalance. Yeah. And keep all the body parts moving. If you notice something isn't moving, we all have favorite things we do. I mean, I'm definitely more of a hand-arm person. Send your attention somewhere else when you notice that. Send your attention, you know, down into your knees or your feet, you know. Or if you're a foot person, send it up here. We often are a little nervous about moving our heads. All right. Yeah, the point of centering is not so that we never go off center, but so we have tools and resources to come back to ourselves. You know, we lose our balance, we find our way. We find our footing, literally, or our seating, you know? We lose it, we find it. We lose it, we find it. It's a moment by moment thing. letting the movement come to its natural end. Don't cut it off. Don't cut it off just because the music is fading. Yeah. Okay. Much slower. Back to a focus on breath. Yeah, just let yourself move to the music. This is at a much more, because it's slower, a little more conscious awareness. By the way, it's harder to maintain balance when you're moving very slowly. Okay? Let yourself move. Yeah. You can use your chair for a prop too if you're going back and forth. Yeah, whatever movement you can make is the right movement. Yeah, let yourself have an audible exhalation. Make it nice and long. You could blow it out your mouth if you like. Taking us back to center, the rise and fall of the belly, the abdomen. Yeah, just keep exploring that sense, coming back to center, going off center. We're developing a little trust in our bodies that we have the ability to center. That we can come back, whatever knocks us off the horse, that we can come back, that we can recover. Coming back to the breath. Letting the movement take its natural end. Coming back to the breath, feel yourself breathing. If you want, put a hand on your belly. Feel your heart. Thank you. Thank you for being here for this exploration.